Hey guys, this is Frederick Munawa and welcome to this impromptu mastermind. Now, a mastermind is a form of peer-to-peer problem solving, and I really like the peer-to-peer aspect, no surprise there. And a mastermind is also something where we ultimately focus on the collective success of our group. As some of you know, I've been working on creating a membership site for learning the key concepts of blockchain and cryptocurrency, and that will go live next week. So I sent this survey to about 1,500 people last Friday and asked them what their biggest challenges were when it comes to learning about blockchain and cryptocurrency. There was an overwhelming response to that survey, so I decided to make a video and a special podcast episode going over those responses, since I'm sure thousands of other people out there are experiencing those very same challenges. Again, the question in the survey was, when it comes to learning about blockchain and cryptocurrency, what is the single biggest challenge, question, or frustration you have? Here are 3 of the top 10 challenges my subscribers submitted, including my commentary for each challenge. Also, if you're listening to this as a podcast episode, please go to blockchain.global/academy for the video. Okay, so first, challenge number 1. This person said, my biggest frustration is not having a clear and honest answer regarding the sustainability of public blockchains, wasting of miner energy, and the insanity of a ledger copy on every computer in the ecosystem. The second frustration is the greed and hype around crypto versus using blockchain for social good, like transparency and traceability of supply chains, digital identity, voting, and financial inclusion. Also, all the hype around each new limited edition crypto pump and sell. Too many shysters in the game. Okay, so first of all, thank you for that response and for opening up. You have 4 challenges bundled up in one. 1, sustainability. 2, having a copy of the ledger on every node. 3, greed, scams, and pump and dumps. And then 4, use cases. So let's address each of those in that order. So mining and sustainability first. Mining in the context of Bitcoin, for example, is a way of processing transactions and creating new cryptocurrency. And the computational effort used in mining is also used for consensus and security. So proponents of mining argue that it is not wasteful and it is actually useful for those purposes: money supply, consensus, and security. And then 2, having a copy of the ledger on every node. The purpose of having a copy of the ledger on every node is so that everyone has a shared copy of the truth and no one has to rely on a central authority. So this is a basic pillar of decentralization. If you remove that, then by default, you must trust someone else to tell you the truth. Now, do trusted intermediaries sometimes betray our trust? Yes, they do. Okay, then number 3, greed, scams, and pump and dumps. This was prevalent during the ICO boom of 2017 and 2018, and the only response I can give you is that whenever there's quote-unquote easy money to be made, which was the case with many ICOs, greed and scams will be prevalent. This has happened throughout human history, for example, Bernie Madoff, and continues to happen, so this is not unique to crypto. And then 4, blockchain use cases. Well, there are probably a million potential blockchain use cases. Interestingly enough, in the Academy, we do cover some of the ones you mentioned here, specifically supply chain and digital identity, as well as security tokens. Now, big companies like IBM, for example, are leading the charge on many of these use cases. I mean, I can recall Barry Silbert. He's a VC, founded Digital Currency Group. He once estimated that IBM is spending about $160 million per year on blockchain projects. Okay, so let's move on to challenge number 2. And this person's biggest challenge when it comes to learning about blockchain and crypto is that it is difficult understanding how blockchain technology works, finding clear information about consensus mechanisms, validation, potential risks of the technology, such as 51% hacks or attacks, and other potential risks. There are lots of short articles that hint at these aspects, but do not provide enough detail about how these features, such as consensus and validation, work, and how the cryptography works in key generation. Well, thank you for your response. So, in a nutshell, it looks like you see a lack of clear, concise, but detailed information about how blockchain works from a trusted source. I totally understand your frustration, and in fact, I'm glad you brought this up because that is the exact reason we created Blockchain Innovation Academy. And when we go live next week, you'll be able to access that content, and I'm sure it'll be a good fit, especially over the long term. And if you don't find what you're looking for, because we simply can't cover all possible topics right when we launch, just let us know because we will be adding new content on a consistent basis. Okay, moving on to today's third and final challenge. Challenge number 3, and this individual says, as a non-technical individual, i.e. no background in computer science or coding, how can I find a place for myself within the blockchain and cryptocurrency community? I've read white papers. I understand the differences between the major coins. I just don't know how to break into the industry as someone with a business background, real estate, as opposed to a technical background. Okay, thank you for answering my survey. And basically, you are asking, how do you launch a career in blockchain without a technical background? Well, I think that requires a few things. First is knowledge. Learn as much as you can so that you can have productive conversations with technical people like engineers. And that will also help you in conversations with non-technical people as well. And it looks like you're already up to speed on that. The second thing is specialize. If you already are an expert in real estate or finance, law, health, or supply chain, or something like that, find ways to apply blockchain or crypto to that area. And I'm not saying become that proverbial blockchain hammer that's always looking for a nail, but the more knowledgeable you become, the better you'll become at identifying opportunities where blockchain or crypto are relevant. For example, I know many lawyers that have positioned themselves as blockchain lawyers, and they either start their own businesses or become legal counsel for blockchain and crypto startups. And then my third piece of advice is networking. The crypto industry is small, so focus on networking with like-minded people and also connecting with companies that are leading the space. In the Academy, we have a forum where people are able to meet and connect with those like-minded people. But also you should attend meetups and conferences. For example, Ethereum's DevCon 5 conference starts next week, I believe, and it's one of the biggest ones in the industry. So there you go. You can start there. All right. So that's enough for today, folks. We've just discussed 3 of the 10 major challenges people have when it comes to learning about blockchain and cryptocurrency. 2 of them mentioned the lack of use cases and the lack of in-depth educational content from a trusted source. And the third challenge was about networking and career paths for non-technical people. And these are all problems I'm trying to solve with Blockchain Innovation Academy. Now, I received a ton of responses, so tomorrow in our second Mastermind video, I'll go over 3 more challenges that were submitted. One person said, where can I get content that pulls all disciplines like computer science, cryptography, finance, economics, law together in a way that a layperson or beginner can understand? And then this other person said, I would like to understand real-world examples. I'm a doctor and would like to see how they say blockchain will be implemented. Way to go, doc. And another challenge was, hey, I'm a practical guy looking for good examples of how blockchain actually works. All right. If you have a challenge you'd like for me to address, leave it in the comments below. Also, please share this video or episode. If you're listening to this as a podcast episode, share this video or episode with anyone you think may be interested in learning about blockchain. And again, if you're listening to this as a podcast episode, please go to blockchain.global/academy for the video. Other than that, look out for Mastermind video number 2 tomorrow, and I'll talk to you then.